Andy Stevenson for SevereMMA, standing alongside John Kavanagh here in SBG Ireland, and we're about 4 months late, but I'm here to present you with the SevereMMA 2023 Gym of the Year for SBG Ireland. Congratulations.
I'm humbled.
Prestigious award.
I really appreciate that. I'm truly humbled, and thank you very much.
Yeah. Obviously a very busy time in the gym at the moment. You've all just finished up a class here. Look, we're usually the Irish MMA channel. We like to go into Irish MMA, but Conor's back.
Yes.
You finally have the announcement,
Yes.
29th of June. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, just excited. You know, there's always an extra buzz in the gym when there's a big fight coming up. It's turning out June is we've got 3 separate UFC events, 2 PFL, Bellator Dublin, show in Tenerife. So June is going to be particularly busy.
I was going to say, that specific week is mad because you've got Bellator Dublin and Johnny Walker fighting in Saudi Arabia the same night.
Yeah, that's...
How are you going to go half the night in Saudi Arabia, half the night in Dublin?
I'm hoping I can... if Conor lend me the PJ and I'll come back and forward.
Yeah, Conor seems to be here a lot. You see a lot of footage of him. Obviously, he's got the home gym as well. Is he down here more often now?
Yeah, we did most of the sessions down here and then some up in the house as well. So we're getting busy, we're getting after it.
Yeah. One of the things I saw Michael Chandler talking about was he reckons if he beats Conor, that Conor will hang it up. I don't think that's the case, to be honest. What are your thoughts?
I don't think Conor will ever hang it up. So, but one fight at a time. We have a really big fight coming up, a big challenge. Chandler's a hell of a competitor, and I'm looking forward to that challenge. We're all looking forward to that challenge.
Yeah. I'm going to speak to Danni McCormack in a minute, but she's obviously a free agent at the moment, Invicta champion. What does this woman have to do? She's gotten the finishes. What does she have to do to get her UFC call-up?
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of back in the day. All the Irish MMA fans, they almost harassed Dana into giving Conor an opportunity. So if you guys can get on the top of that and just keep the word out there, the guys do listen. You'd be surprised how much the UFC top brass, they follow what's happening in the media. They follow on who's getting the momentum behind them. So there's some good media coming out there with Danny lately, with you guys as well. So if we can just keep liking, sharing, keep the momentum going. I got to keep harassing Mick there. He's kind of in charge of that division. And Danny's just got to stay ready. And who knows, you know, there's opportunities pop up all the time. So she's training hard. She's ready for any opportunity.
Yeah, obviously at strawweight, the options are a little bit more limited than, say, at flyweight. Would you prefer to stay at strawweight rather than looking at moving up in weight or anything like this?
Yes, short answer is yes. The weight class suits her. But it was like with Conor, he'd already gone to 55 and then suddenly a 45 offer come in. We would have preferred 55, but the 45 offer come in. We had to do it, we had to take it. So it's kind of with Danny, it's like whatever offer we get, we're probably going to have to accept it.
Yeah. Did you see the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje fight at the weekend, any chance?
I don't think anybody didn't see that.
Yeah. What did you make of it?
It was as advertised. What a fight, what a finish. Both of those guys are killers. But Holloway put on a real clinic. He just looked fantastic in it, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that Conor was congratulating him after as well, and that's obviously a rematch that could happen in the future. There seems to be a lot of different options that are kind of coming back to the surface. Obviously the Nate fight's always there, but you've got the likes of Max, and now you've got this guy Ilia Topuria, who's kind of taken the world by storm from Spain, and Georgia, Spain. You know, when you think of potential matchups, which is the most appealing one to you? Because you know, maybe the one that's most appealing to Conor hasn't always been the one that's most appealing to you.
Chandler, June 29th. Okay. Full focus on that.
Fair enough. I have a question for you, right? You may have seen Cage Warriors at a show in Ireland there recently, and Graham Boylan afterwards on Twitter went on, and look, I'll cut to the chase. To me, that was directed directly at you, you know, to say we want to open up the show to all gyms in Ireland. I know there's been, look, some, I don't know if conflict's the word, but just maybe a disagreement over the years. Where do you stand on that, and are you open to having SBG fighters on Cage Warriors?
Yeah, short answer for sure. Busy fight team. If an opportunity is there, we're absolutely, you know, over the years we have put guys forward. It's never been accepted. At the moment, I'm in a very good position that most of my guys are already in good contracts, whether it's with PFL, Bellator, Combat Jet Global. Like we're kind of spread around at the moment. But look, if something comes down the line, I don't hold any grudges. I'm bygones be bygones. If Graham has put the olive branch out, it'll be certainly no emotional decision from me. If an offer comes in, I have a guy ready. and it's a good one, definitely.
Yeah. Is it, look, the criticism of Cage Warriors over the years has always been kind of about the money. It's, you know, the pay is a bit less than, say, a Bellator or PFL, etc., who are providing opportunities to people in Ireland. Has that been kind of the stumbling block?
Yeah, it's just, you know, I won't go into the guys' finances, that's for them to talk about. But if I'm coming to them with one offer, which is 5 times, 10 times another offer, even regardless of whether it's Cage Warriors or not, you know, prize fighting is about one thing. I always somewhat smile when I read coaches online talking about the honour and sportsmanship and respect and all that. That's for amateur fighting. And I would encourage most of my guys now at this stage to stay amateur. IMAF is a great program. You can represent your country, you can go to Europeans, you can go to Worlds. And for, like with amateur boxing, it's going to start becoming like that. Back in the day, it was like 2 amateur fights, go pro. Now I'm encouraging guys, look, maybe amateur fighting is going to be the entirety of what you, and nothing wrong with that. It's fantastic. Then you know, you're finishing college, you get a trade, you continue with your education, carry on. The small percentage of fighters that professional fighting suits, and it is a small percentage, because you're going to have to get used to this, things being shoved in your face, you're going to have to talk up fights and whatnot. Once you're starting to get paid, it should only be about one thing, and that's money. Prize fighting should only ever be about money. And once it becomes obvious that there's money is not going to be there for you, don't carry on with it. I would, like I said, stay amateur. It's less damage. You know, some of the heavier techniques are taken out. It's still a fantastic outlet for young people to come in and compete in mixed martial arts. But if you're going to go pro, worry about money.
I wasn't going to ask this, but I'm very curious now after kind of hearing that. Paul Hughes is another, you know, he's one of the hottest free agents in the world right now, really, really promising prospects. He kind of spoke to me about Ryan Curtis and the injury that he sustained and how it changed his perspective on, you know, wanting to get what his worth and not end up with brain damage and no money in his bank account. If you were looking at a guy like him who has this decision to make between, say, a UFC or another organisation, in your opinion, should it be solely money, or like, is there a conversation for legacy and, you know, the fact that the UFC is the premier organisation in the world? Sorry, I'm really putting you in the spot there. I know that's.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I suppose I'll let my track record answer that. Where are most of my guys? And I will always be on top of my guys. I'm chasing mortgages at this stage, not belts. I want my guys to do the best they can. I want them to achieve all their competitive goals. But if I'm getting my guys mortgage paid, I'm happy with that.
A couple more questions, then I'll round off with a Conor question. The lads in the gym, there's loads of lads breaking through onto the pro scene. Some of them are struggling. Kenny Muckenwana, what's going on? He seems to not be able to get mashed up at all. Is it difficult at the moment for the lads who are maybe a couple of fights into their career to get the frequency in matchmaking?
Yes. Let's think about the pro boxing scene for a moment. I know of pro boxers who are 3-0, 4-0. They're paying $4,000 to get on a fight card. Paying $4,000 to get on a fight card. So it's always difficult to get that rhythm going. Kenny was just very unlucky. He kind of got caught in the crossover when PFL took over Bellator. I mean, he'd had 5 great wins. If I'm correct, he's 5-1, and then his last fight was a loss, and they had to cut some people. They couldn't keep everybody. I've no doubt he's Dave Roach, the other guy that runs the team with me. He's got some really good contacts with the like of Ares in France, and we're aiming towards getting on that in the summer. A couple wins on that. But look, there's a lot of pro fighters in that same category of they're just kind of breaking on the pro scene. The hardest thing is getting that opportunity. There's lots of tough fighters out there that we'll never hear of. They just don't have the contacts, don't get the opportunity. So with Kenny and with everybody like Kenny, as Conor would say, hashtag stay ready. You've got to keep on the mats, keep training. An opportunity comes along. Don't start saying, 3 weeks notice, well, I wasn't. That's it. You got that notice. That's all you do have. So you've got to be ready until you start getting some momentum behind you, and then you can start being a bit more selective.
Look, we're an Irish channel, but everyone is probably realistically tuning in to see, you know, what's he saying about Conor McGregor. How is Conor looking? He's coming back from a really, really bad injury, you know, which is a really, really difficult thing to do in itself. How is he looking in the day-to-day? Obviously, he's locked in now. It's camp time. You know, what's his mentality? How's he looking in the gym?
He's looking super slick. There is fighters that when they're not fighting, and after a while, it's difficult to explain to somebody. A lot of guys watching this that are 15 pro fights in, it starts becoming a job. It does. The passion and my love of this, it's a job. And it's hard to keep the level of intensity, even if it's not physical, the level of mental intensity of always thinking about training, always thinking about sequences, always thinking about techniques. That's something Conor's had naturally his whole career. So even though there was times where he's off filming and he's doing this, he's doing that, we're still always having conversations back and forward. Whereas some fighters, like if I'm not fighting, I don't even want to look at shows. I'll just get ready when there's a fight coming up. And that's really held to him because he's come back on the mats as sharp as ever. Of course, we've got to get the rounds in and get the conditioning up so as to be ready for competition, but his technique is as sharp as ever.
Yeah, and obviously, like he has so much more to think about when you're talking about that obsession than he did when he was starting out. He has the Forged Irish Stout, the Proper 12. He's got probably 25 different businesses that I don't even know of.
Yes.
Does that now? Has it gone to the back burner now for the next 2 months, say?
Yeah. Well, I've always felt somewhat sorry for the other guys because let's say he has 20 different areas that he needs to focus on. Martial arts will always be number one because he really enjoys it. It's the most fun. Going through the paperwork on a really long, complicated property deal, probably not the most exciting thing in the world, you know. But for martial arts, I feel I have a trump card. I can always like send him a highlight, send him a technique, talk about a guy that we have in here for training for him, whatever, and I'll always pop to the top of the list. So I don't feel I have to compete with those things. And Conor's very good at, I'll try this word, compartmentalization. Yeah. Thank you. Whereas, you know, training is realistically, it's maybe 2 1-hour sessions a day. There's plenty of other time in the day where he can be focused on other areas. So when you're in here, you're on for the hour, you're on for the 90 minutes, and then when you're gone, you're on for whatever it is you're doing out there.
We'll go with the cliche question for the last one. How do you foresee the fight going? What's your big prediction for the Conor McGregor Michael Chandler fight?
I've said this from the start. I see similarities to the Mendes fight. I'd be surprised if it can go 2 rounds. I'd be surprised. He's just hits too hard. It's too sharp. Is there going to be scrappiness and a few takedowns and stuff? Maybe. But every round starts on the feet, and his ability to get back there is underestimated. So I'd be surprised if we see 2 rounds.
Well, John, look, I really appreciate the time. Congratulations again. I realised I reeled you in to present an award and then caught you with an interview, so appreciate the time and all the best for the camp.
And thanks very much again. And congratulations on all the great work you guys are doing to highlight, whether it's Paul Hughes and all the MMA gyms out there. We all need it. We're kind of a small country that boxes a little bit above its weight class on the global scene. And between my gym and the other MMA gyms in Ireland, I think we're entering another kind of golden period. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they all do and everybody rising to the occasion. And let's keep it going.